You can see that once I am in a relationship, I am in a relationship, and I've never cheated on anyone in my life. I didn't cheat on Haley. I didn't cheat on Hannah. There was no relationship between Haley and I other than what you guys read.
So let's get into our first topic, which we are talking about Jed Wyatt. So Jed is from Hannah Brown's season. So Jed is speaking out on his new podcast, Jed Talks, about the allegations that he cheated on former Bachelorette Hannah Brown with previous girlfriend and musician Haley Stevens. So Jed did not want to get too much into detail about what happened on the show because he does not want to risk a possible lawsuit from the franchise.
That being said, I hope that some of us can put two and two together and see that there was obviously something pretty powerful that I had to say that was worth me being sued over. And, I would love to say those things. Maybe there will be like a day that I'll get to say everything. But for now, I guess they don't want me to throw a wrench in the franchise, so we'll just let it cruise.
However, he wants to make it clear that he did not cheat on anyone and that he is not a cheater. Jed gets more into detail about how the producers and the franchise are extremely manipulative. Jed says on the podcast, "I was highly manipulated and from it deeply mentally affected from the show." Now, Jed got off of the show about 2-3 years ago, but he is still affected by the show today, and he's talking about it on his podcast. So do you guys believe Jed? Do you think that he has the right to kind of bring certain things up? Avery, what are your thoughts on all of this?
I'm sure that Jed was probably like manipulated to a degree. I feel like everyone feels that way at a point when they're on the show. But it's been a while now, and it's up to him if it's worth coming out about everything he's experienced, and it's looking like it's not. I just have to say the fact that him and his girlfriend broke up a week before him going on the show was already very fishy, very suspect. So I understand why there were so many cheating allegations. And it's also the fact that she was pretty surprised that they got engaged after the show ended. So it's all pretty questionable. I'm sure he has a different side of the story, but, contracts and the legality of it all. So who knows what he can and can't say.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I totally believe that it's no secret producers manipulate. They do anything they can, and they play really dirty so they can create a good and drama-filled show. But I definitely think that it could be in his benefit to kind of play the, it was all producer play card. I don't think that he was completely innocent in any of the allegations. I mean, if you break up with a girl a week before coming on the show, I'm sorry, that's dirty. And I have a thing, I've talked about it on the shows before. I feel like if you're a musician and I find you on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, I'm already gonna be really sussed out with you. So I feel like his intentions with going on the show in the first place, in my opinion, were not completely pure. And though I totally agree, I'm sure producers manipulated him and cast him in an even more villain kind of light. I don't think that he was necessarily completely innocent. As far as, him having a right to speak his truth, I would love to hear his truth. Please give me all of the tea. But unfortunately, when you decide to go on that show, you sign your rights away. You completely give them the right to hold it over your head, and you're not allowed to speak on things that have happened to you, conversations that were had. So I think it's probably smart for him to stay silent. I feel like he gave us just a teeny bit with this podcast, but maybe the future will hit him more. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like when there's smoke, there's fire. And I don't know how much of this is Jed not wanting to take, accountability for his actions or what he may have misled his ex-girlfriend or not. But either way, it really doesn't matter. I don't know. Jed was on the show 3 years ago. Why is he still bringing this up so many years later? And, he just started this podcast, Jed Talks. So obviously this is what people want to know. And there's no better way to lure people into his first episode of the podcast than talking about this big scandal between Jed and Hannah. But I'm wondering if it's if none of this is true, Jed, why did Hannah even break up with you to begin with? Avery, what do you think went wrong in Hannah and Jed's relationship?
Ooh, I think a lot of things were wrong. Just even like you said, Mariah, the fact that he was a musician going on the show, that's already, are you here for the right reasons? And I feel like as time went on, they obviously realized this wasn't working. She probably was seeing a lot more red flags other than just being the musician. Obviously, the ex-girlfriend was a huge one, but that just leads to more and more trust issues and obviously a breakup. So I think there was a lot of things wrong with the relationship, but mainly trust.
Yeah,
For
I'm
sure.
with you. I think from the, oh, sorry. I think from
No,
the
continue.
beginning, there was no foundation of honesty. I don't think that he was being genuine from the get go. Again, I hate to judge someone's character that harshly without knowing all of the facts, but like I said, if you're a musician and you go on the show, I can't help but question your motives. I feel like the motive is really to get it out there that you're a musician, in which case you should have waited for the Raise Your Voice or whatever that show was, because I didn't really watch. Listen to your heart. That's right. I'm thinking of the Hillary Duff movie. My bad. But yeah, I mean, I feel like if you go on a show with the wrong intentions, then you're wasting somebody's time. You don't have the foundation of honesty and you're doomed from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, Jed probably would have done better on Listen to Your Heart, but I don't want to generalize musicians and athletes, so maybe we
You're
won't
right.
put him in that category, but I totally think you have a point, Mariah. And I want to ask you, Mariah, because Jed has kind of alluded to the fact that his hands are tied. There's not too many things that he can say or that he just doesn't want to say because he doesn't want to get into it with Bachelor Nation. When is it too far? When is the time when you are allowed to speak up and say your truth? Like, how many years after the show is he going to be able to really say how he feels?
That's a great question. I mean, we were talking about this. It's not so much a matter that he's still in contract. He's more likely not in contract anymore, but they can come after you regardless because you signed up to be a part of this program that pretty much controls what you talk about in relation to the program. So I don't know when the time is right for him to come out. I mean, it's been a while since his time on the show. So I feel like he's itching to talk about it. I mean, he's starting this podcast. I think, like you said, like it's a great way to get people to listen by talking about what you're probably most famous for. And maybe in the future, he will just kind of like rip the Band-Aid off. Maybe he's just teasing us and like, oh, I want to tell you, but maybe I won't because I don't want to deal with the legal situation following. But I have no idea when the right time to tell it is. I mean, I totally understand why he would be scared to speak further and risk that legal battle.
Yeah, that's fair. But it's like, you have this podcast. This is what we want to hear. You've been off the show for a few years. I don't know. Give us a little something more, Jed, or I'm probably not going to listen to any more future episodes of your podcast. Let's be real. Well, that is all we have to share with you guys for now. So thank you all for listening. As always, we want to know your thoughts. If you missed the live, still tell us your thoughts down in the comments below. And lastly, don't forget to follow us on our socials and subscribe and ring the bell because we will be back for more news updates and Bachelor Nation tea. As always, I am your host, Zachary Reality. And today I was joined by Avery Grooms and Mariah Davis. And as always, we will see you guys next time. Bye.